who is ruling the world? Who runs the world? Who is ruling the world as we speak? Now, I just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, that do teach you have taught me the truth, to USA Shalom, and Shalom to the hopeful act. Now, it says here, who runs the world, organized crimes, front groups, and secret societies. Pretty much this article goes into the secret council of the wicked, and it's just letting you know that there is an unseen hand that is actually controlling the world through these different organizations and institutions, right? NGOs, World Economic Forum. There are elite families that are actually controlling those things, and the article just lets you know that through these institutions and organizations, these families are really manipulating the people, and they just break it down into different charts, as you can see here. Right, the American Empire and its media. Now, us at Great Millstone, we're not the Johnny-come-latelys of this information. We have been telling you this information for years, starting with our elders and apostles. They've been telling you this stuff for decades upon decades. They've been prophesying about it when nobody was talking about this. You know, when nobody was talking about this, and when we started talking about it, they all called us crazy. They all called us losers, bums, bigots, racists, gangster prophets. But you guys, man, you are the Johnny-come-latelys to this information. The Rothschilds, you hear about them? Yeah, we've been talking about that 20 years ago, nigga. You're late, right? So, these are the people running things, man. Right on down to DC Comics, Cartoon Network, HBO, CNN, everything. They run everything. They own it. They're making a lot of money too. And these people, they go back to banking families, okay, which are known as globalists. Right? They go by different names. All right, so that's what the article goes into, and I'll post a link in the description. You can go read it yourself. Right. All right, so let's get a precept. This is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judge thereof. If not, where and who is he? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's the key word, given. It was really Yahweh Bashim Yoshai that gave the wicked the ability to rule the earth, and that's for prophecy's sake, and it's really for a period of time, pursuant to Revelation, the 20th chapter. Because these devils, they were set up to rule this earth and deceive the world for a period of time. All right. You know, when you see articles like this, it's just letting you know that we're at the end of this devil's rule. And he's about to go down. Pursuant to 2nd Ezra 6:9, it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that falleth. And we know Esau, Edom. Right, that's going back to you so-called white people, starting with you elites, you international banking families, you globalists, the ones of you that control these organizations and institutions, man, like the World Economic Forum, right? Yeah, so it says for Esau is the end of the world, and that word world means eon, which is going into a period of time or an age, and we are at the end of Esau's age, and this proves that, because now they're being exposed, and that covering cast and that veil is being lifted off the people, and the people are seeing you devils for who you really are, right? A bunch of snakes, a bunch of liars, a bunch of murderers, a bunch of criminals, right? So, you know, your biggest weapon was secrecy, because you were able to move under the radar while doing your wickedness. Now people are privy to your wickedness. They see that you're the actual wicked. They know that you are the ones that are responsible for spraying barium oxide in the air. You are the ones for tampering with the food, right? They know who you are, right? So the jig is up. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Yeah, and Jacob represents the 12 tribes. Going back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? 12 tribes is the beginning of it that fall, and that starts with you getting an everlasting kingdom. I think of Daniel chapter 7 verse 18. The saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the kingdom under Yahushai. Okay, we're going to take it. All right, starting with Yahushai. All things were created by him and for him, and every knee shall bow. Okay, so Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, and we're almost in Jacob's time to rule. We're seeing it. Okay, so since I said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, I told you that the Lord is responsible for that. Yahweh Bashem Yoshai, he gave these devils the ability to rule. Let's go to Romans chapter 13 and 1, and it says, be subject to government. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. That's right. So you have to obey the powers that be. Okay, and right now we're obeying the power of the so-called white man. He's in rulership. He owns everything. He's on the money. Right? And guess what? The Lord, he put him there. Hey, didn't Yahushua tell you, render unto Caesar's what Caesar's? And that means we're going to be under Caesar for a period of time. You Romans, man. So yeah, for there is no power but of the Most High. That's right, and there is no power but the Most High. So that just lets you know the counsel of the Lord stands. It doesn't matter. The counsel of the Lord still stands at the end of the day, and he's the one that put these devils in power. Okay, the powers that be are ordained of the Most High, just like what I said. The powers that be are ordained of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai. The Lord put this devil there to rule for a period of time, for prophecy's sake. And really, it's to show how powerful he is in the long run. Matter of fact, Daniel 4 and 17. Daniel chapter 4 verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. That's right. So the Lord, man, he puts whoever he wants in power, and it's through his will that he did it. Right? It's through his will that these devils are ruling. Okay, and the basis of men. Who's the basis of men? Esau, Edom. You are the lowest form of man. Okay, you are the Neanderthal that came out the cave. So you're the base man. You are the base man that is ruling, and the Lord set you up to rule for a period of time. Okay, so the Lord did this. The Lord did this. All right. In the sight of the angels and the saints, he did this to show you his power. And there's also other scriptures you can go into. Romans 9 and 19 on down. It goes into how the Lord, he created a vessel of dishonor, and he created a vessel of honor. And all of that's just to show how powerful he really is. Right. So I hope that makes sense. So we just covered that the Lord pretty much gave these devils the earth to rule. Now let's go into Revelation 20 and 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And that angel represents Yahushai. And you know what? Pretty much, man. I'm just saying this. I'm putting it out there. Yahushai controls the ability of life and death, and also he controls hell. Which is bringing you out of that miserable state. He can either put you in a miserable state, or he can take you out of a miserable state. Now, verse 2, it says, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan. That's right. So this is talking about an actual people, right? And that goes back to Esau, Edom. And that old serpent goes back to the serpent in the garden. It goes back to Cain and Esau and the Roman Empire. Right? They're all of the same spirit. which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. And the Lord, he bound you 1,000 years. And that's talking about the Byzantine Empire. And that's when we were ruling in the Dark Ages. And you would have to look at secular history to figure that out. You would have to go back and look at the old icons of who was ruling in the Dark Ages. They call it the Dark Ages because you so-called Negroes were ruling, man. You were ruling. That's why they call it the Dark Ages, because you were dark. Okay, dark-skinned people were ruling Europe during the medieval times. We were on top, and they were at the bottom. Okay, so bound them up for 1,000 years means they were in slavery too, under us, and cast them into the bottomless pit, and shut them up, and set a seal upon them. That's right, they were put into the bottomless pit, and that bottomless pit represents Europe. Right, Europe, Britain, because there's no resources that come out of Europe. Right, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. That's right. So, the Lord, he put a seal upon him to not go out there and to deceive the world no more. Now, after 1,000 years, that's when he's going to come out and be loose for a little season. So a little season means a period of time. Going back to 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, world, which is eon, which is a period of time or an age. So now he's going to be loosed for a period of time to deceive the world, right? And that's what we're coming into. Now let's jump down to verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of prison. That's talking about now. Well, it started in the Renaissance period in the 1400s. And you started to see these devils come out of the woodwork. Just thinking about the Borgia family, Caesar Borgia. And by the way, that goes back into Job 9:24, the scripture, the precept that we started off with, because the Borgia family, they were the Borgia family, starting with Rodrigo Borgia. He put his son Caesar Borgia as the image of Christ, right? And that goes into covereth the faces the judges thereof. And that's what these devils have been doing. They've been telling you, ever since they got into power, they've been telling you that they're the righteous, they're the saints, they're God, they're the saviors, they are the chosen people. Hell, look what happened back in 1948 with the Balfour Declaration, right? That treaty, that declaration, set these Edomites, you Khazars, you Amalekites, you Edomites, to rule Israel. That's why you're in Israel to this day, when you're not the real people, right? So that's a form of covers the faces of the judges thereof, right? So that's also a part of that. So anyways, it says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, in the 1400s, that's why you had the Caesar Borgia family, you had Christopher Columbus. You had what's his name? Francisco Pizarro. All these conquistadors come to the New World and colonize it, and pretty much killed you tribes and put you into slavery. Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. So he's set up to go out and to deceive the nations, man. And he has caused you other nations, man, to inherit lies. That's what the scripture says. And you're in for a rude awakening. A lot of you other nations, man, when the Lord comes back and takes you down, you're going to realize that you made a big mistake in messing with his chosen people, his children, and crucifying him a second time. So inherited lies. This is Jeremiah chapter 16 verse 19. O Lord Yahweh, my strength and my fortress and my refuge, in the day of affliction the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. And you inherited lies, well, really due to this devil, man, because he deceived you. That's why you go into Psalms, the 2nd chapter. Why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? right? The reason why you rage and imagine vain things is because you were lied to. You were lied to, right? So you inherited lies, and now you're in for a rude awakening when the Lord returns. When you realize the ones that you have been oppressing, they're actually over you. Okay? All these different gods that you believe in, they're worthless. They're vanity. The real God is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right? So I hope that makes sense. Where am I? I think I'm in 7. Yeah, so let's go into 2 Thessalonians now. Because now we know who this devil is. Right? We know who this devil is. Especially, because we fell away. And that's what this chapter goes into. It shows you who is the wicked. Right? So, actually, I'll just get to the point. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. That's right. So the mystery of iniquity is going into you devils, you Edomites. And that's you Romans, man. You Romans, you Americans, you so-called white people. Because at a time, before, it was a mystery, who was the wicked. We didn't know who the son of perdition was. We didn't know who the son of perdition was. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let me start from 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. That's right, you Edomites. Man of sin, the son of perdition, son of disaster. Let's look at that word, perdition. Refresh my memory on that. Apolia, destroying, utter destruction of vessels, perishing, ruin, destruction of money, the destruction which consists of eternal misery in hell. That's right. He's the son of destruction. He's a destroyer of worlds. He's a destroyer of this world. And ever since you devils came into power, man, that's all you've been doing is destroying the world. Right? All these other nations that ruled before you, they didn't destroy the earth like how you did. BP oil spills, right? Pipelines bursting. Oh, Chernobyl, don't forget about that. Radiating the world and microwaving the world, right? The train derailment in Ohio, Palestine, Ohio. All them toxic chemicals, man. Barium oxide, chemtrails, you name it, the whole 9 yards. So he's destroying everything. And now, and by the way, that falling away is talking about Israel losing their identity, their nationality, their knowledge. And now we're coming back into the knowledge. We understand who we are. We're coming out of that slumber because we heard the cry from John, which is really Abba Bibbins. We woke up. Now we know who the man of sin is. Now he's revealed. Right? He's revealed because of the prophets that came back, and also how the prophecies have been fulfilled. You're really starting to show who you really are, your true colors. All right, so who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worship, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. And that's what he's trying to do. That's why when you go into Job 9:24, it says, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Who's the biggest judge? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And he's taken on that image as the judge of everything. And this guy has a god complex. He really thinks he's God. He really thinks he's God. He puts some satellites up in space. He has all these weapons. He has AI. He has guns, right? What else, man? He has a lot of other things. He has space stations, a space force, right? He's God. He knows everything. He's got digital currency. He's gonna chip you, right? Setting up a unicorn. He's God. He knows everything, right? He's the best. so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And back then they didn't know who this devil was. They didn't know the Romans were the Edomites. They didn't know that they were the sons of perdition. But now it's being revealed now in this time, because that's because it was supposed to be revealed in this time, the time of us being placed over here in America. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. The spirit of his mouth is really the prophets. Prophets are set up to prophesy the downfall of Esau, Edom, through the scriptures, and shall destroy it with the brightness of his coming. And Yahushua is coming back to destroy these devils and to take them down. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. That's right. And that comes through his technology and witchcraft, man. Right? It's witchcraft. Right? All right. So, yeah. Now, let's go into Psalm 64. Prayer for deliverance from the secret enemies. And David had a lot of secret enemies that were outside of the kingdom and within the kingdom. And he's asking the Lord to help him out and get revenge, and to deliver him from all these secret enemies. And this applies to the secret counsel of the wicked, you elites. You're the secret enemies of Israel, right? And a lot of our people, they don't know that you're the enemy. See, a lot of our people, they look up to the elites. They look up to these bankers. They look up to these so-called white peoples in suits. Okay, so anyways, this is Psalm 64:1. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. That's right, and you should be praying, man. All right, and prayer is a form of supplication, which is really begging. You got to beg the Lord. Because right now we are sheeps in the midst of wolves. Oh, that's all we can do is pray. That's all we can do is hope. That's all we can do is beg. Right? We're in no position to really fight. Verse 2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. That's right, the workers of iniquity, man. They're always trying to make you be in the condition of not following the law. Because that's what iniquity is. It's you being in the condition without having the law, and they make laws out here to keep you in iniquity. That's why they don't put you in jail if you commit adultery. They don't put you in jail or they don't put you to death if you are a sodomite. Right? So they are workers of iniquity. They're always trying to keep Israel lawless. That's their job. Who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. And that's it. And it's true, because they own the media. They own the media, and they're able to slander and demonize the prophets, the men of the Lord. They're able to demonize the Bible. They're able to demonize the prophets. And that's why, and you notice you see YouTube is on here, right? I don't know if you can see it on my YouTube, Google. That's why they cut your videos down and say that it's spreading medical misinformation, or it's hate speech, when all you're doing is just telling the truth, right? So verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Yeah, they're shooting at the perfect, which is really you Israelites, the saints, the elect, right? And also it reminds me of Jacob, when it says he was a plain man. He was a plain man dwelling in tents. And it also says he was perfect, which means he was morally right, morally upright. Yeah, he had morals. All right. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Yeah, the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Yeah, because look at Klaus Schwab. You will own nothing and be happy, right? That's what he's doing. He's bringing out a cashless society, a digital world through the World Economic Forum. What has he done? He has placed his cronies in these different countries to bring forth digital ID. You know, that's very deep. That takes a lot of thinking, you know, to do that. It takes a lot of intelligence, and it just shows how wicked they are, man. They search things out so they can destroy the righteous, right? But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded, and all that pretty much goes into the missiles. They're going to shoot the missiles upon you. The Lord is going to allow you devils to shoot missiles upon each other. And suddenly shall they be wounded, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Yeah, and your own tongue that's going to fall upon yourselves are a lot of these people that, these whistleblowers that worked in these different government agencies. What comes to mind? Edward Snowden. You got guys like Julian Assange. I'll put Alex Jones as one of them, right? I won't say Alex Jones, but these devils, man, they're going to go against each other and reveal their secrets, and that goes into the NWO. That's what Edward Snowden goes into. That's what Alex Jones goes into. Julian Assange. That's what they go into, the NWO. Right, and they expose Klaus Schwab. They expose the international banking families, right? And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him, and all the upright in the heart shall glory. All right, next one. So this is Isaiah chapter 14 and 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? And Lucifer is talking about the Illuminati, because they're illuminated, and they have the knowledge on the left-hand side, which makes them illuminated. They can see things because they have the light, right? They have that occultic, that occult-like knowledge, right? That knowledge of wickedness, and that's who these people have, because they serve the spiritual demon Satan on the left-hand side, and that's why they're able to control these different companies and institutions and organizations. That's why they're able to manipulate the minds of the people, man, because they have knowledge on the left-hand side to do so, right? But what does the scripture says? The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, right? So what they're doing, it's only going to lead to their downfall, right? Only going to lead to the downfall. All right, so where was I? It says, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? And they've weakened the nations, man, through their philosophies, the wine, right, through bringing in democracy, right, capitalism, sodomy, women's rights, feminism, communism, all of that. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars, which they did. You know, they had space stations, right? Going back into the book of Obadiah. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. That's right. So this is just showing you who they are. Now let me get Lucifer here. And you're going to fall. You devils are going to fall real soon. Lucifer. It says, light bearer, shining one, morning star, Lucifer, of the king of Babylon, and Satan figuratively. Hillel, describing the king of Babylon. So yeah, light bearer, Lucifer, he's illuminated. So he has a light. Okay, so yeah, that's all I have for today. Hope this was edifying. So till next time, I just want to give all praises, glory, and honor due unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash, and the belongings to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and that do teach well. Kwam Yashala Baba Bal Shalom.